going to welcome up Nick from the Anti-War Committee.
My name is Nick, and I'm a member of the Anti-War Committee. And like all of you, I'm very fucking angry.
That's right.
Yeah!
I'm angry at the Supreme Court for continuing to strip away the civil rights that we fought and died to win.
That's right.
And I'm angry at the United States government for letting it happen.
Right.
Fuck the government!
In the anti-war movement, we see queer and trans people used as justification for war all the time.
That's right.
We're told that Israel is an oasis of gay rights in a sea of homophobia. Not only is this a load of racist, Islamophobic bullshit,
Lies.
it's also being used to justify the United States' continuing financial support of a brutal apartheid regime.
That's fucked up. Right.
The United States sent $3.8 billion in aid to Israel this year already. And they can't forgive our student loan debt?
That's bullshit.
We're also told that Russia is a dangerous homophobic hellscape. We're told that we should care about the treatment of queer and trans people in Russia, and we do. But why isn't the United States doing anything to protect queer and trans people in America?
That's right. That's right.
Meanwhile, Ukrainians are dying in droves as the United States funnels money unchecked into an unwinnable proxy war.
That's right. That's
And this is
right.
not new. The United States told us we needed to invade Iraq and Afghanistan to liberate women. But who did they think they were bombing?
Period.
Now they repealed Roe v. Wade? They don't care about women. It was only justification for more violence and death to line the pockets of the 1%.
That's right.
I'm angry, but I'm also scared. I'm scared for the safety of my queer and trans friends, and I'm scared for my own safety.
Right.
I'm scared we will continue to see attacks on our civil rights, attacks on our bodies. And even though Minnesota is making moves to protect queer and trans rights, we don't have the luxury of feeling confident or comfortable or safe.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
On October 1st of 2021, my partner Skylar and I got married on the front porch of our house in Northeast Minneapolis. It was a small ceremony, and it will always be one of my happiest memories.
Yeah.
And I wish I could say that I knew our marriage would be legal and constitutional for the rest of our lives. But as the Supreme Court continues to strip us of our rights, I worry about a future where this happy memory is tainted. Every day, we exist in a country that makes sure we know that we are different, that we are not guaranteed rights. It isn't fair, and it isn't right.
No. That's not right. Not right.
But that is why we can never stop fighting.
That's right.
We can never stop demanding our rights
Right. Period.
and reminding everyone that we exist and that we won't back down.
We won't back down.
say that.
What do we want? We want queer and trans liberation. And when do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Queer and trans liberation.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Queer and trans liberation.
When do we want it?
Now.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Nick from the Anti-War Committee. Nick highlighted the hypocrisy of the U.S. government, as always.
That's right. Right. Right.
1, 2, 3, 4. Murder, genocide, and war. 5, 6, 7, 8. America was never great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Murder, genocide, and war. 5, 6, 7, 8. America was never great. Next up, we have Ren, who uses any pronouns and is from the Students for Democratic Society.
Go.
Hello. Hello everyone, my name is Ren and I'm a member of SDS, Students for a Democratic Society. So before starting, I always try to primarily acknowledge the land in which we are standing. Minneapolis and St. Paul are traditional, ancestral, and contemporary lands of indigenous Dakota peoples.
That's right.
Being a graduate of University of Minnesota Twin Cities, I'd also like to reiterate that the university itself is legally occupied Dakota lands by failing to uphold Native and governmental treaties.
It sure is. Let's
All
go.
here must recognize that this land is scarred by forced removals, disposition, ethnic cleansing, as well as remaining the site of settler colonial violence.
That's right.
I extend my gratitude and respect to these endlessly resilient communities, and while on this land, hope to learn, protect, and support the Indigenous sovereignty and contemporary works of Indigenous leaders. This land acknowledgement is only the first step in supporting these Indigenous communities. Furthermore, we must live and inspire others to stand in solidarity with these communities, as well as supporting them physically and financially.
Right.
Like the U.S.'s extensive history of stripping Indigenous communities of their resources and cultural practices, the University of Minnesota has followed suit, underfunding, cutting resources, as well as in some states banning entire departments and programs that just has been a few tactics that have been enforced throughout colleges and universities coast to coast.
That's fucked up.
Here at the University of Minnesota, specifically in the College of Liberal Arts, ethnic, gender, and linguistic studies have been predicted to be underfunded in the coming semesters, causing these departments in particular to struggle maintaining its presence at the U of M. In my own experience as a newly graduated student from the Gender, Women, Sexuality Studies department, many, and when I say many, I mean the majority of my senior and higher level department specific classes were taught by non-tenured and PhD student instructors. This proposed budget cut will primarily affect non-tenured and PhD student instructors, meaning departments like GWIS and the AIS and Native Languages departments may literally cease to exist in the near future. The American Indian Studies Department and the Truth Project have even released a list of demands to the university after years of research into how much the university has failed the Native community. These demands have yet to be met or even discussed. In my opinion, these budget and resource cuts are deliberate attacks against LGBTQ people, BIPOC people, Native students that choose to study and prioritize certain departments and discourse. These proposed cuts to these programs must be stopped immediately. Proposed budget cuts must be stopped immediately. Instead, these departments should be fully funded in order to provide and support full education for the students and faculty that work, study, and learn in them now and in the future. More nationally, too, there have been major attacks on studies and departments as well as trans and non-binary folks, BIPOC people, drag performers, women's and reproductive rights. For example, the disgusting ruling from the conservative majority Supreme Court permitting private business owners to discriminate against LGBTQ plus people during or in the sale of goods and services. This ruling is a disturbing display of power and inhumanity that is embedded in our governmental and societal structures, stripping us from our human rights to be treated and protected as equals in a public sphere is sadly just another domino within the many others that have fallen in the last few years. Another example being the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Women and non-binary and transgender people have been stripped the right in many states to exercise their human right to bodily autonomy and free decision making, as well as the right to accessible and accurate information, education, and services.
Yeah, that's right. Shame.
When safe access to abortion is restricted or limited, people with reproductive capacities are forced to resort to less safe methods. These methods often lead to death. Limited access to abortion disproportionately affects people who are variously oppressed by poverty, marginalization, racism, ableism, misogyny, transphobia, etc. The dominoes continue to fall.
Yep.
But they won't fall without us noticing. We show up and we make great efforts to resurrect and protect these laws and structures, returning to, defending, and creating a more just and equal future for everyone.
That's right.
Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people won't stop.
Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power.
Let everyone give it up for Ren from SDS. Whose land
who is one of the main organizers of the Taking Back Pride Coalition.
You said the word name. Hold it up high. Yeah.
Hello everybody, as Kelly introduced me, my name is Jay. I am a member of the Twin Cities Coalition for Justice for Jamar, as well as Freedom and Socialist organization. Both organizations that had an instrumental role in the Taking Back Pride March, where we took the streets and disrupted TC Pride for their support of MPD officers who have killed and maimed black people in this city for decades. But I'm here right now not to talk just about the police, but to talk about the people that employ them and the people that give them their orders. People like the Supreme Court and people like the government of this city. Right. This latest decision by the Supreme Court not only represents a return to an era of increased discrimination and violence against queer people in this country, but proves what we already knew, that the fascist right-wing zealots serving on the Supreme Court have no intention of stopping and reversing Roe v. Wade, but intend to roll back all the hard-fought victories that our predecessors have fought for. It is not enough for them to endanger millions of women and people in need of safe and legal abortions. It is not enough for them to legalize discrimination for Christian fundamentalists, which, for the record, no self-respecting gay person wanted to patronize anyway, since the web design at 303 Creative looks like it was made in MS Paint 30 years ago. It is not enough for Justice Clarence Thomas to paradoxically put Loving v. Virginia, a ruling that legalized his own fucking marriage to a white woman, on the chopping block along with millions of other marriages. That's right. This reactionary Supreme Court wants to take what few rights we have been able to win and push us back into an era of rampant legalized racism, an era where we do not have autonomy over our bodies and where the government can dictate what we do in the privacy of our own bedrooms.
That's bullshit!
It took me over 20 years of my life to come out of the closet, and I will die defending my right to dress how I want, medicate how I want, fuck who I want, and love who I want. And this is exactly why we organize Taking Back Pride. Queer people cannot afford complacency. We cannot afford to believe that corporations or do-nothing nonprofits will protect our rights. And we can't afford to stand by and celebrate the same police forces that will be tasked with enforcing these backwards-ass laws. Time to organize, to be ready to fight back using any means necessary. That's right. But in order to do that, random isolated actions are not enough. We need numbers and we need organization, because our enemies are highly organized and all too ready to crush us to benefit themselves. Right. Even this protest on its own is not enough. After we raise awareness, after we educate each other, we must be prepared to think strategically, to use every tool we have at our disposal to secure our rights for good. One way that TCC for J is fighting back is through community control of the police. Despite being a sanctuary state, Minnesota continues to fail the LGBT community by allowing police departments to clear encampments, creating instability and trauma for an already suffering population. LGBTQ identified people make up 11% of the unhoused population, despite making just up 4% of the overall population. This proves that policing is not just a hindrance to the struggle for black liberation, but for the liberation of all of us who are oppressed under capitalism. If the police are the armed enforcers of capitalism, join us in crippling the enemy by turning public safety into the hands of the working class so that we can ban encampment evictions and all other forms of police violence. If you want to get involved, you can follow TCC for J and the Taking Back Pride Coalition on social media to stay updated on what actions we are taking next to protect our rights and build a future that works for all of us, not just the ruling class. Now is the time to organize and fight. Now is the time to stand up against racist and transphobic policing. And now is the time to say fuck SCOTUS and fuck their regulations on our bodies. When queer rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When queer rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When queer rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Thank you.
applause again for Jay from TCC for Jay. In honor of that speech, we're going to go, fuck SCOTUS!
Fuck SCOTUS!
Fuck SCOTUS!
Fuck SCOTUS!
SCOTUS!
Fuck SCOTUS!
SCOTUS!
Fuck SCOTUS!
We have one more speaker. Up next is Robin, who uses he, they pronouns and is representing the Freedom Road Socialist Organization and the Minnesota Abortion Action Committee.
Like this?
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Robin. I use he, they pronouns. I'm with the Minnesota Abortion Action Committee. I'm also a member of Freedom Road Socialist Organization. I'm speaking on behalf of Autumn Lake, so don't give me credit for the speech. We're both members of Freedom Road. Friends, fellow organizers, it's been a rough year. Following the overturn of Roe v. Wade last year, Justice Clarence Thomas made it clear that the Supreme Court's conservative majority had no intention of stopping at abortion rights. He named 3 cases for which SCOTUS should reconsider all of this court's substantive due process precedents. Cases that protect LGBTQ people's right to marriage, LGBTQ adult consensual relationships, and even the right to married couple to access contraceptives. In the year since, we've seen this body effectively dismantle affirmative action, allow for discrimination against LGBTQ people by businesses, allow businesses to sue union members for losses incurred during a strike, deny student loan forgiveness, and denied the Navajo Nation's request for federal help to access its water rights. Make no mistake, our democratic rights are being dismantled rapidly before our eyes. Make no mistake, these are directed attacks against working and oppressed people. Make no mistake, we, the working and oppressed masses, face the harshest consequences of these attacks.
That's right.
That's right.
We have here today organizations representing diverse avenues of struggle: climate justice, immigrant rights, abortion rights, anti-war organizing, student organizing, police accountability, indigenous sovereignty, and LGBTQ liberation.
That's right.
We are all here today together because we all understand that these avenues of struggle are inseparable, because we're all fighting the same unjust system.
That's right.
We're all fighting the corrupt rule of a handful of billionaires, war profiteers, and their corporate and political allies on both sides of the aisle, who are more interested in maintaining their own comfort and political power than they are in actually serving the needs of the people.
That's right.
We have seen our democratic rights erode despite the fact that different people with supposedly different politics have been shuffled in and out of the halls of power. The political and economic reality of capitalism makes sure of it. It is our duty to build a movement to unite to win all that can be won for working and oppressed people, so long as we are forced to live under capitalism.
That's right.
But our duty does not end there. Only socialism, a system in which the multinational working class and oppressed people gain the political power to remake the economy, the political system, and culture, can bring an end to oppression.
That's
guarantee
right.
democratic rights,
That's right.
and protect us from those that want to strip those rights away again. Freedom Road is working to build a party of the multinational working class to end exploitation and bring about socialism. If you are here outraged at the injustice all around you, I encourage you to help build the fight against that injustice. Join an organization like TCC per J, like MNAC, like MIRAC, AWC, CJC, SDS. I'm assuming you know what those acronyms mean. Actually, I'm not going to tell you what they stand for. Find out yourself. Sorry for adding that. If your workplace has a union, get involved with your union. And if you want to build a revolutionary organization, if you want to build for a better world, join Freedom Road. When I say there's only one solution, you say workers lead the revolution. There is only one solution.
Workers lead the revolution.
There is only one solution.
Workers lead the revolution.